Listen to me carefully. I am speaking not to your ears alone, but to your spirit. There are moments in life when words are not just sounds, they are keys. There are moments when what you say becomes a direction for your destiny. Many people are where they are today, not because of what they faced, but because of what they kept saying in the face of it. Your mouth is closer to your future than your feet. Before anything changes around you, something must change within you. And one of the fastest ways that change begins is through what you declare with faith. I am talking to women today because women carry a special sensitivity in the spirit. They feel things before they happen. They carry burdens silently. They pray with tears more than words. Many of you have been strong for too long. You have smiled when your heart was tired. You have encouraged others while your own soul was waiting for encouragement. You have knocked on doors that did not open, trusted people who disappointed you, and waited for answers that seemed delayed. But here, this delay is not denial, and silence is not absence. God is often quiet when He is arranging something bigger than your expectation. There are doors you tried to open with effort that refuse to move because they were not meant to be opened by strength. There are doors that do not respond to noise, connections, or struggle. They respond only to alignment. When your heart, your faith, and your confession come into agreement, doors open without resistance. That is why some people struggle for years, while others step into favor quietly. It is not about who shouts the loudest. It is about who speaks with faith and understanding. Many of you have been saying the wrong things for too long. You wake up and declare fear. You sit down and repeat worry. You look at your situation and speak hopelessness. Words are seeds. You cannot plant fear and expect faith to grow. You cannot sow doubt and harvest confidence. Every time you speak, you are either calling life or inviting delay. God listens not only to prayers made in church, but to confessions made in daily life. What you consistently say reveals what you truly believe. There are 3 simple statements I want you to hold in your heart today. They are not magic words. They are faith-filled declarations. When spoken with understanding, humility, and trust, they align your spirit with heaven's agenda. Say them not in panic, not in desperation, but in confidence that God is faithful. When you say them, do not rush. Let your spirit agree with your mouth. Say them slowly, meaningfully, as one who knows that God hears and responds. The first declaration is a surrender of control. Many doors remain closed because you are still trying to be in charge. You plan, you worry, you calculate, you fear loss, and then you ask God to bless what you already decided. Faith does not tell God what to do. Faith trusts God with what He wants to do. When you say with your heart that you trust God's timing and direction, something shifts. Heaven responds to surrender faster than it responds to struggle. When you release control, you release pressure. When you release pressure, clarity comes. Some of you are tired because you have been fighting battles that were never assigned to you. You have been carrying responsibilities that God never asked you to carry. You are exhausted not because the journey is long, but because you are walking it alone. When you truly surrender, you will feel peace before you see results. That peace is a sign that something has moved in the spirit. God often gives peace as a receipt before He delivers the promise. The second declaration is an affirmation of identity. Many doors remain closed because you see yourself smaller than God sees you. You call yourself weak forgotten, unlucky, or ordinary. But God does not respond to labels placed by pain, people, or past experiences. He responds to who you are becoming in Him. When you speak words that agree with His purpose, you step into spiritual authority. Confidence rooted in faith is not pride, it is alignment. There are women listening to me right now who have lost confidence because of rejection. Rejection can be loud, but it is not final. Sometimes a closed door is not a denial, it is protection. Sometimes what did not work was saving you from something that would have broken you. When you declare who you are according to God's plan, you silence the voice of fear. Fear loses its grip when faith finds its voice. You may not feel strong, but strength does not come from feeling. It comes from believing. The third declaration is an expression of expectation. Expectation is the atmosphere in which miracles breathe. When you expect nothing, you receive nothing. When you expect the worst, you prepare for disappointment. But when you expect God to act even in ways you cannot imagine, your heart becomes ready. God does not always work according to your plans, but He always works according to His promises. Unexpected doors open for those who trust Him beyond their understanding. Expectation is not demanding, it is believing. It is waking up with hope even when circumstances have not changed. It is preparing your heart for good news even when yesterday was painful. Some of you have stopped expecting because you were disappointed too many times. You told yourself it is safer not to hope. But here, this disappointment comes from people. Fulfillment comes from God. Do not allow human failure to reduce divine expectation. When you say these words 3 times, you are not repeating for emphasis. You are aligning spirit, soul, and body. The first time you say it, your mouth speaks. The second time, your mind begins to agree. The third time, your spirit receives it. Consistency matters in the spirit. Faith grows stronger with repetition, not because God did not hear you, but because you are training your heart to trust Him. Some doors will not open immediately, but something will shift immediately. You may not see the door, but you will feel peace. You may not hear the answer, but confusion will leave. You may not receive the blessing yet, but strength will return. That is how you know God is at work. He works from the inside out. He fixes the heart before He fixes the situation. He strengthens the woman before He changes the environment. I am speaking to women who have been faithful in secret. You prayed when no one clapped. You believed when no one supported. You kept going when it would have been easier to quit. God has not forgotten you. Heaven keeps accurate records. Every tear, every prayer, every sacrifice is noted. The door that will open for you will not look like what you expected, but it will be better than what you imagined. When God opens a door, He does not ask for permission from people who closed it. He does not consult your past before blessing your future. He opens doors that no one can shut. And He shuts doors that no longer serve your destiny. Some of you will look back and thank God that certain doors never opened. You will realize that protection was disguised as delay. Do not rush the process. Do not compare your journey. Do not speak against yourself. Watch your words, especially in difficult moments. Speak faith when fear wants to speak. Speak trust when doubt wants to speak. Speak hope when despair wants to speak. Your words are responding to something, but make sure they are responding to faith, not fear. As you leave here, carry this truth with you. God is not limited by your background, your mistakes, your age, or your current situation. He is attracted to faith, humility, and expectation. When you speak with understanding, heaven listens. When heaven listens, doors move. When doors open, your life shifts. I declare that doors of opportunity, peace, restoration, and favor will open in ways you never expected. I declare that what was blocked will be released, what was delayed will arrive, and what seemed impossible will become testimony. Not because of effort, not because of struggle, but because you trusted God enough to speak with faith. Stand firm, speak wisely, and watch what God will do. Listen carefully, because what I am about to say is not ordinary teaching. It is spiritual reality. Many people believe doors open because of effort, intelligence, or connections, but effort without alignment only produces exhaustion. Intelligence without alignment produces confusion. Connections without alignment produce disappointment. There are people who did everything right according to human logic, yet nothing worked, while others stepped into opportunities they never chased. The difference is not strength, it is alignment. When your life aligns with God's purpose, doors do not need to be forced. They respond naturally, quietly. Sometimes suddenly, because alignment attracts openings beyond human reach. Alignment begins inside, not outside. Before your environment changes, your inner position must change. Many are asking God to move situations while refusing to adjust their hearts. You cannot be out of position inwardly and expect outward access. Heaven does not respond to desperation. It responds to order. When your spirit, your intentions, and your obedience line up with God's will, you stop knocking on doors meant for others and begin walking toward doors assigned to you. Some of you are frustrated because you keep reaching for what looks good instead of waiting for what fits. Not every open door is divine, and not every closed door is rejection. Misalignment causes people to celebrate opportunities that later destroy them. Alignment protects you from stepping into seasons you are not prepared for. God loves you too much to open doors that will expose you before you are ready. That is why alignment often comes to correction, delay, and silence. When a woman is aligned, she does not rush. She does not compete. She does not compare. She becomes calm, even in uncertainty, because something inside her is settled. Alignment brings rest before it brings results. You may not have answers, but you have assurance. You may not know the next step, but you know who is guiding you. That inner assurance is a sign that heaven has begun rearranging things you cannot see. Many people miss divine openings because they are noisy in seasons that require silence. Noise confuses direction. Silence sharpens discernment. When you are aligned, you do not need to announce your moves. God becomes your defender and your promoter. He opens doors in places your name was never mentioned. He creates favor in rooms you never entered. Alignment allows God to speak on your behalf. Look at your struggles closely. They are often signs pointing to misalignment, not punishment. When effort increases but progress decreases, something needs adjustment. God does not waste pain. He uses it to reposition you. Every disappointment is an invitation to realign. Every delay is a chance to recalibrate. When you respond correctly, what once resisted you begins to respond. Alignment also affects what you tolerate. When you are aligned, you stop begging for attention, approval, and validation. You no longer settle for partial access or conditional acceptance. You understand that what is meant for you will recognize you without persuasion. Doors that require you to compromise your values were never designed for your destiny. Alignment gives you the courage to walk away from near miracles that will cost you your peace. There are doors you will never see until you stop chasing visibility. Some openings appear only when you are hidden. God often aligns you in private before unveiling you in public. What you do when no one is watching determines where you will stand when everyone is watching. Alignment is formed in obedience to small instructions that seem insignificant. Heaven measures faithfulness differently than people do. Many women are praying for expansion while ignoring correction. Expansion without alignment leads to collapse. God aligns before He enlarges. He adjusts character before He releases capacity. He strengthens roots before He allows height. That is why some prayers feel unanswered. God is working on alignment, not denial. When alignment is complete, answers move quickly. Alignment attracts favor without effort. Favor is not fairness, it is divine preference. When you are aligned, favor finds you in unfamiliar territory. People help you without knowing why. Opportunities appear without explanation. Resistance fades without confrontation. This is not coincidence, it is consequence. Alignment places you where grace flows naturally. Your past does not disqualify you from alignment. God aligns the willing, not the perfect. He does not ask where you failed. He asks if you will trust Him now. Alignment is a daily decision, not a one-time event. Every choice either moves you closer or pulls you away. What you watch, what you say, who you listen to, and how you respond all shape alignment. Some of you are aligned in prayer, but misaligned in speech. You pray for breakthroughs and speak fear afterward. Words can undo alignment faster than actions. When your mouth agrees with faith, alignment strengthens. When your mouth agrees with doubt, alignment weakens. God listens not only to prayers, but to patterns. Alignment requires consistency between belief and confession. When alignment is present, timing becomes precise. You arrive at the right place without rushing. You speak at the right moment without rehearsing. You meet the right people without searching. This is not luck, it is orchestration. God arranges encounters when alignment is intact. Missed alignment causes missed moments. There are doors beyond human reach that respond only to spiritual positioning. No amount of knocking can replace obedience. No amount of skill can substitute humility. No amount of ambition can override divine order. Alignment places you under grace, and grace gives access where credentials cannot. Do not envy those who appear ahead of you. You do not know what alignment they sacrifice to get there. Speed without alignment leads to pressure. Progress without alignment leads to exposure. When God opens a door through alignment, it comes with peace. You do not struggle to maintain what God gave you. What comes from alignment stays because it is sustained by grace. Some women are aligned emotionally but misaligned relationally. The wrong associations can shift your direction slowly. Alignment requires discernment in relationships. Who you walk with influences where you end up. God may ask you to disconnect, not because people are bad, but because directions are different. Separation is often preparation. Alignment does not mean absence of challenges. It means clarity within challenges. Storms still come, but they do not confuse you. Opposition still appears, but it does not intimidate you. When aligned, you understand that resistance does not mean stop. Sometimes it means stay positioned. God opens doors that match your alignment, not your ambition. Ambition says now, alignment says when ready. Ambition demands, alignment trusts. Ambition competes, alignment waits. That waiting is not passive. It is active obedience. In that waiting, God is shifting structures, softening hearts, and arranging details beyond your reach. There are women listening who are one adjustment away from sudden access. One act of obedience, one decision to let go, one correction in attitude, one moment of surrender. Alignment does not require perfection. It requires honesty. God aligns those who are teachable. When alignment is complete, doors open naturally. You do not need to announce your arrival. Access recognizes you. You do not need to explain your value. Your presence speaks. You do not need to defend your progress. Results testify. This is the power of alignment. Stop forcing what requires positioning. Stop explaining what requires patience. Stop chasing what responds only to order. God is not withholding doors. He is guiding you into alignment. When alignment meets timing, openings appear without warning. Resistance dissolves without conflict. And pathways emerge where walls once stood. Because alignment attracts openings beyond human reach. And when heaven confirms your position, earthly systems respond. Favor locates you. Resistance weakens. And what once seemed unreachable begins to move toward you as your heart stays submitted, your spirit stays sensitive, and your trust remains anchored in the one who orders steps and unlocks access in ways the mind could never calculate.